distinguished professor at CUNY Grad School. Now writes the Paul Krugman Substack newsletter, which people can find online. We pulled one of the charts. I read your piece there today. Explain what you mean about how, the numbers can be noisy, but the Trump trade war, the Liberation Day chart we'll put back up, quote unquote, doesn't seem to have helped hiring.
Yeah. So what's numbers are noisy. One month's number can fluctuate a lot, and also, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, which I assume we'll talk about, is they have to go with incomplete data, and when they get new information, they go sometimes revise the data that they were reporting. So we have new numbers as of today, and there's not just numbers for last month, but there are also revised numbers for the past 2 months. And what we're now seeing is a picture that corresponds. Previous numbers were a little bit different from what we were getting from other sources, we have private surveys and so on. But now it's all kind of consistent that we really are having a serious slowdown, largely because of the chaos and uncertainty that Trump is creating. We're not yet in recession territory, but we're definitely losing steam. And this is a not good picture. This is not what you want to see happening.
Yeah. So you get that not good picture. Trump sort of crashes out, shoots the messenger. We don't have any modern precedent for that. It's reminiscent of bigger problems in controlled or autocratic countries and economies. Put that in context for us, and why would that affect, why would that be bad for, say, an average person in the economy?
Well, the thing to remember is that this agency, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, is not a household phrase, but it is absolutely critical. Basically, everything that we know about what's happening to the economy in the last couple of months comes from the BLS. They do the surveys that tell us how many people are unemployed. They do the surveys that tell us how many jobs companies are creating. They produce the inflation numbers. So all of that comes from them. And first of all, it's critical for all of us to understand what's happening. But it's also how the government itself makes decisions. It's how the Federal Reserve makes decisions. If you start to corrupt those numbers, if you start to report those numbers as being what makes the president look good, instead of what's actually happening, then bad things start happening. It's what you see. If you ask me, how did someplace like Venezuela get to hyperinflation? How did someplace like Argentina get to hyperinflation? An important part of that is that they start ordering the statistical agencies to report nothing but puppies and rainbows. And so they go plunging ahead, and by the time they finally start, if they ever do, to admit that maybe we have a problem here, you're up at 80% inflation, right? This is the playbook. We've seen it many, many times. And now, I have to say, faster even than I expected it to come to America.
Right. It's a big problem. There's a projection to this because we've had hard-fought elections. We've had controversial cases like Bush v. Gore. We haven't in the modern era had politicians use lies and violence to try to overthrow the results of an election. So we know that's where Trump comes from in terms of dealing with information he doesn't like or that threatens his power. He's been projecting conspiracies about this labor data, as you know, but others may have forgotten. We don't track it for daily. And I want to show on CNBC, they found it laughable, although now he's doing the thing he used to accuse others of. Take a look.
Let's tee up the most ridiculous conspiracy of all time, okay?
I got a few. That has nothing to do with the jobs numbers, I can assure you.
But let's do it. Let's do it. You have an election happening, I believe it was in November of 2024, right? So if you're trying to be political and help out the Democratic Party and you're a Democratic statistician, tell me what the sense is to release in August of 2024 the idea that payrolls were 818,000 lower than previously reported. Would we be just idiots for doing that? The idiocy of the political conspiracy, it just defies the logic of even repeating it. I was going to use an expletive there, but it is really stupid.
That's sort of, again, how far down the rabbit hole do you want to go? That's what connects the Epstein story to this one, and this type of magical thinking or propaganda. Where do we go from here, Professor? And is there a role for the powers that be in either objective financial information or finance itself to say this is terrible and try to stop it?
Well, I'd like to be seeing a lot of protests, and then business, the business community has been really, like a lot of institutions, have been afraid to speak up. And they really should be saying, hey, this is really, really bad. I mean, I was actually out for a walk, and my phone started, lighting up with texts from all of my business friends saying, holy, where I can't use, Trump just fired the BLS commissioner. And so they are upset, but they're not willing to see it. I think, what I'm personally doing as we speak, more or less, is I'm assembling all of the alternative sources that you can use to try and guess what an honest BLS would be producing. I don't think they're going to be producing fake numbers by next month, but they might be. And it's certainly where Trump wants them to go. So we're going to be, back in Argentina, in the days when they were faking the statistics, Argentine economists put a lot of effort into producing independent estimates of inflation because they knew that the government was lying. And guess what? We're Buenos Aires. I mean, my Substack was Caracas on the Potomac. I mean, we are definitely in Banana Republic territory already.
Yeah, Banana Republic and all the danger that comes with that, as you say. Professor Krugman, thank you. We want to hear from you exactly on a day like today.